Rise and grind, folks. Guys, I am on the way to an existing maintenance customer. This is an AC maintenance. I believe this customer has an older Carrier Payne or Bryant condenser. I think we replaced the capacitor out here a couple years ago, and that's how we got the maintenance agreement here. But guys, I'm almost here right now. Let's go take a look. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Guys, today is going to be similar to yesterday. I think today's high is going to be in the high 60s. It's in the mid to low 50s right now outside, but nonetheless, we got a 20-degree split. Let me take a look at this filter. I think we replaced this last time we was out. Actually, no, this is not one of ours. I think this customer had this spare one here. I don't trust this filter. Let me go grab another one, guys. And this is another example of a 2-foot drain line. If anything, I can pour water in a pump and test the pump, but this specific drain setup here, the likelihood of this clogging up is slim to none. However, if the pump backs up, then sure enough, the condensate is going to backflow into the drain and the customer's going to have a bunch of water down here. But guys, as I mentioned in previous videos, depending on what the setup is, if this goes into a French drain, you can check the outlet of where the condensate line goes to the French drain. Make sure that there's no gunk where the condensate exits the pipe and goes into wherever it drains out of. Similar to a condensate pump, put water inside your condensate pumps. Make sure you guys are testing and flushing the condensate pumps, because the last thing you want to do is just assume that just because it's here, it's working. And sure enough, whenever it heats up outside and this produces condensate, there's going to be a recall. But all right, guys, let me get what I need here. I'll be back. Got my new filter in. Doors in, close this door so nothing flies into the house, and let's take this show outside. Let me get my thermometer. All right, guys, I'll see you outside. This is our very ancient but still functioning straight AC condenser. This is a 2.5 ton, 1999. Now, I know this thing is at least 20 years old. However, the only thing that was replaced on the system is just a capacitor. This had to be like at least 2 or 3 years ago. And I made a few videos about these before. These are king valves. What you have is you have a rod right on the top, and you need your service wrench to either crank the rod to the left or crank the rod to the right to open and close the valve. Now, the most important thing with king valves, guys, is before you remove your hoses, make sure the valve is front seated, meaning make sure the rod that's on top of these king valves, make sure it's all the way up. How you turn this all the way up is you push it towards the left. That way, the left is all the way up. That will front seat the valve, meaning you're free to remove your hoses so you don't get burned and potentially lose some of the charge in the system. And vice versa. You crank it like maybe a quarter turn or probably a full turn to the right to open it, but to pump it down, you crank this all the way down to the right, cranking the stem down towards the right, which is going to close off the valve, which is going to essentially pump the system down. So make sure you guys are distinguishing the difference between king valves and regular Schrader valves with the pins, and you can't go wrong. All right, let me take the door off and let's get busy here. I'll be back. As you can see, my electrical component area is clean. However, there's just a bunch of debris that fell on top of the unit, likely from wind and leaves falling and twigs falling. Not a lot, which is a good thing, but as you can see, we can still see the bottom. But here's another fun fact here. This, once again, is a Carrier 2.5 ton straight AC unit. Now, what I like about these units, the compressor is right here. You don't have to pop the top. And also those ream rectangle units from back in the day, those compressors are right in front of you. Knock on wood, I hope I don't jinx myself, but I never had to replace a compressor that was right in front of me. Every single compressor was conventional. The only way to get to it is to pop the top and remove the condenser fan motor. But guys, this is all concrete out here. How the hell does dirt fall inside this unit? I have no idea. But guys, let me finish clearing this stuff out the way. And once again, this is a new cap and a hard start. I'm gonna look at the records. We did this less than 2 years ago. I'm not gonna bother testing this cap. But let me do my thing here, guys. I'll be back. All right, guys. I cleaned as much as I could. Everything else is pretty much cemented to the bottom of this unit, but luckily you can still see the bottom. So all this debris and dirt that was on the bottom of the unit now doesn't have a chance of clogging up the coil. But now I'm just checking the amps. Fan is at 0.4. Compressor's at 6.07. And once again, this is a mild day. It's only about 51, 52 degrees out. And this cap and hard start was put in about 2 years ago. So I want to make a note around this time next year to check the cap again. However, this is the original contactor, so I'm going to make sure we don't have a potential difference. Across that contactor. Nothing, which is good. Nothing, which is good. Now guys, another thing about these contactors, looks can be deceiving. I mean, just because the original contactor is in a 20+ year AC unit, you still need to come out here and check it out. I mean, age doesn't necessarily mean that the part is on its way out. Most importantly, make sure you check for potential difference. Another thing, you guys seen this the other day, if I remove 240 from this unit and my contactor is pulled in and this contactor is buzzing so loud that it almost sounds like the compressor is on, at that point, guys, that's a sign that the contactor is on its way out. Now guys, all this is preventative. Do a customer has to do anything you recommend? No. Every single customer could just wait until it breaks down, but at what expense is that breakdown going to entail? Last thing once for the contactor to pit and for the contactor to stay stuck closed. And now, if this compressor and fan runs without the indoor fan, who knows what can happen inside with water damage and with an older furnace. The board is going to get wet, and besides the contactor needing to get replaced, now it's always going to be something else you're going to have to deal with. So, guys, that's what I always recommend. If you guys are out here doing maintenances, assuming you guys are service techs, always bring up preventative measures, guys. Does that mean, once again, that the customer has to do anything? No. The point is for you to educate the customer and let them know about what could happen. So if something does happen, guys, they can never say that they didn't know about it. Knowledge is power, guys. All right. With that being said, let me pack up here. I don't think the coils look too bad here, but let me put the doors back on, guys. I'll be right back. There you have it. Carrier 20-year-old AC unit. Everything's still rocking and rolling. Now, this customer did say that she had issues with the third floor or the second floor getting cold. That issue is unrelated from the unit itself. Unfortunately, they don't have enough ductwork on the upper levels because initially this house was set up for heating only, but when they added AC, they didn't add returns or even adequate supplies on the upper level. So this customer is going to figure out if she's going to open up the walls for ductwork or if she's going to look into mini split units in certain rooms on the higher floors. But either way, the central unit is older, but it's still functioning. And what we'll do is we'll shoot back out here in the fall for the heat maintenance. But there you guys have it. Keep rocking and rolling. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.